this video, I'm going to show you how I installed a mini split system in my converted horse trailer RV. This page is about a man that bought his first pickup truck after he retired. He named it the Galaxy. This truck gave him so much capability that he decided to do more with it. So he bought this horse trailer and he wished to convert into an RV so he can travel around the country and enjoy life in a different way. This is me on one of my trips to Florida. It was hot and my air conditioner overhead was not working correctly, so I had to devise a way of cooling down. So this is how I was traveling with my e-bike inside prior to my fixing my ability to carry it out back. You'll also note I'm carrying a portable household air conditioner that I laid down in the floor for now that I put on the counter to supplement the other air conditioner. This is the air conditioner from Rec Pro. And I give them credit, they always gave me great support when I needed help with the air conditioning unit, but this time it was not blowing cold air at all. So I had to devise a way of putting the portable unit in the unit, and I was able to do so by using one of my vents to vent this household air conditioner. So I replaced the overhead air conditioner with a max fan. Here it is installed. You're witnessing the delivery of my TSO mini split air conditioning system. This is only the inside unit. The unit came in two different boxes. The smallest unit made it okay, but the outside compressor, the box was kind of beat up a little bit, but it seems to have done okay otherwise. That's how loose the box was. But they had taped it up. Hopefully it didn't come out completely. The strap is missing. Just as an extra note, I also bought this portable thermometer that goes inside my RV so I can tell the temperature from inside. There it is. Max air fan fully installed. With the shroud adjusted and customized to this RV. Fairly quiet. I mean, you get fan sound, but it's not as noisy as the air conditioner, of course. And we'll see what happens with the mini split over there. So, next update, you'll see it. It took me a while to figure out where I'm going to install the inside unit, because if I had placed it on that wall to the right, it would have been blowing mainly against the other wall. So I came up with this plan that seemed to work pretty good, and I had to bolt it in securely. I got the custom mount I made up. The right side's pushed back a little more. I pulled the screw in tight, but it shouldn't matter that much. But now I got to slide it in and make sure everything flows downhill with the water tubing. From another YouTuber who installed one of these inside, I realized I need to put a support on top of this thing to keep it from bouncing up while traveling. I'll work on that later. But other than that, it's in there pretty solidly, and the drain is going downhill all the way. Okay, the inside unit's up. Could be some doing. Looks a little crooked to me, but I'll take care of that later. I might level the trailer out, then I can do a full level. I'll adjust to the right side. But they gave me an issue at first, but I got it up nice and straight. My next task was to where I was going to install the outside unit. I've seen other people attach it to the wall in the front, but since my trailer is already built out, I had no access to the back side because my shower is in the way, and I did not want to put it just with self-tapping screws. So I got this idea from another YouTube trailer builder who used a generator tray that goes on the front tongue for his air conditioner, and I thought that was a great idea and exactly what I needed, so I bought this one. My installation was going to be a little bit trickier because I had this diamond shield covering on the front tongue of my trailer. I had to use the appropriate size drill bit to cut little slits of hole in this cover. Keep in mind there is a beam beneath there you have to avoid. So I installed these brackets on both sides of the trailer, on the tongue of the trailer, through the diamond shield that protects it. It took me a while to get these legs lined up to match the tray and then put the brace on the front. But once you got it on there, it's a real solid installation. I was really happy with what it ended up looking like and feeling like. So I knew this thing would be strong enough to support the compressor once I put it on. So I really like the way this thing works out. And it'll keep from hitting the truck too when I make tight turns.
The tray I installed to put my mini split compressor on. As you can see, it goes with the shape of the forks. So when I have to cut the truck deep, it won't hit anything. And I'm going to check the height. It should be higher than the truck. Let me determine that. But this thing is nice and sturdy. It doesn't move. It took me a while to get these bolts through there to set it. That reminds me of one more thing I got to do. But it's good.
And now it's time to move on to unpack the compressor and install it on the tongue. And then I have to run my hoses from the compressor to the inside unit. There's going to be a lot of experimentation to get this right, but here it goes. No matter which way you look at it, that looks good. Unfortunately, because of the light yellowish color of the air conditioning compressor, it doesn't match the white exterior. So I'm going to want to get a cover for this thing that will match the black tray. At least it looks somewhat matching at that time.
Compressor of the mini splits is installed now. And as you can see, it's not in the way of anything. And I can see nice and sturdy. See the area behind it, as well as front. That's all I gotta do is hook it up now and run the lines under there. See, it's good.
First, I had to cut a hole through my cover on the front of the tongue to make sure I didn't hit any other wiring beneath, so I can run those tubes freely from there to the back where the air conditioning unit is.
That's the 2-inch cut. I cut in my trailer cover, tongue cover. This is it with the shroud that came with the kit. Make it a little bit neater.
It took me a while to line this stuff up. Then it's time for me to run my cords through to make sure they don't rub and make sure they lined up so I can move them back to the rest of the underneath the trailer. It took me a lot of figuring out and calculations to make sure I got this hole in the right spot to avoid my other equipment and any other things running beneath the trailer.
This is where the hole ended up in here. Might have been my best location. Thank God I able to get that right. So we'll run these down through it. I'll let you know how it goes.
Now comes the fun part for an inexperienced AC guy to run these hoses through these without crimping the hoses.
What I have so far, I got it hooked up. I had to finish covering it. I'll wrap it with tape later. It goes down to the floor. Got to make sure that cover is back on. This is what I have before I pretty it up. Hose is coming up. Kind of tore the covering a little bit on the way in. I'll fix that later. I put this door on backwards. I can fix that later. I couldn't pump it down because I don't have the adapter I need to fit on there. I had a pump from someone, but it's not doing it. Beneath the trailer, you can see it going through the cover on the forks. Coming through here. Across these pipes I have for the tanks. And there's the drain tube, which I had attached there, but I'm gonna hook it up again. I'm gonna pretty all this up later. And it goes down to the back of all those tubes and up into the hole. So other than me tearing the cover a little bit, it looks pretty good. I'll make it more neat once I tape it up.
I had to actually buy a tube bender to get those tubes to bend a little bit more underneath, so you won't be able to see the tubes from underneath the trailer, or nor when they hang down when you're driving down the road. And then I had to make another good turn into the trailer to make sure there's no binding going on there. But it took me a minute. I learned a lot, but I got it all the way through.
I readjusted. Now it's level. So we're good to go. All I got to do is connect the wires and run the lines.
This is what my installation looked like, powered up, but before I got to wrap up those black tubes with the white air conditioner tape. So it worked out pretty good, other than the mistakes I made.
It took me a while to figure out what was going on with it, but as you can see, it's blowing cold air. That's a good thing. Start out at 81 degrees in here, and now that's blowing. We'll see what happens here in a little bit. The unit out here is blowing, and it's fairly quiet too. You can barely hear it. I just need to finish up correcting this. We'll be good to go. One good install. Make it pretty now.
This is what it looked like when I wrapped the exterior tubes with the white tape, as well as the wiring, and before I covered it up.
You gotta pretty up the wires and hoses from here. And put a cover on it later. Here's a cover board for it. Not matching the rest of the thing, but I should have put on that later. So let's see what I can get. Saying that if you install one of these elevated, you should have a drain for the outside unit. But by the way this tray is made, you can't get to the drain. I should have thought about this before. I'm gonna have to cut a hole in the bottom of that tray to get a drain out. I'll show you what I do.
Before I move on, I'd like to share with you some stickers I had made for my trailer for this door and the back, so I won't get stopped at the agricultural inspection station looking for horses. This is the start of the protective shroud I put around the hoses to protect it from anything going down the road. So it took me a minute to get it right, but it turned out pretty good.
Here it is. You don't see the pipes running at the bottom. And I got the little covers for the wire. All I gotta do is get it serviced again. We'll be back in business.
So then I had to go seal off the openings that I cut for the hoses as well as the electrical connections, so I won't have any bugs coming from the outside. And then I finally wrapped up the hoses on the inside to complete my installation. This is me out on the first trip with the trailer after installing the mini split. What I'm able to do is roll those covers down to cover the inlets for the air, and then I can tie them down with bungee cords to go down the road safely without getting into damage to the AC unit.
Just want you to hear how quiet it is in here when the refrigerator's not making all that noise. You just heard the inverter kick in. Other than that, it's quiet in here. That's wonderful.
Thanks for watching.